Hey everyone, Charting Man Dan from ChartGuys.com. You know, behind every single video that we put out every single day, there's a wonderful community of traders that we want to invite you to be a part of. Try the free 7-day trial and gain access to our live market broadcasts every morning and afternoon, interact with hundreds of like-minded traders, or take part in one of our dedicated chat rooms, each led by an analyst that's there to answer your questions in real time. Our trial is risk-free with absolutely no commitment or credit card required to experience the TCG community. For those looking for a head start in technical analysis, check out our entries and exits course in the link below in the description. Get up to speed with the fundamentals of TCG technical analysis and experience over 5 hours of great community-driven trading education. Checking in on the tech sector and Apple and Facebook. So XLK, the bounce continued to play out. We had a stronger open with pre-market strength, and we rejected from the daily middle Bollinger Band, and key resistance of the daily middle Bollinger Band and the exponential resistances are lining up together. So at this point, the bulls aren't seeing a ton of follow through, keeping in mind that really from the high, the all-time high down to the low of the dump, how much we have recovered hasn't even been 50% of that dump yet. So I am anticipating a lower high to form. The question right now is that lower high going to be at these resistance levels, or will it be a bit higher up around the $57 mark? I do anticipate a lower high, a higher low, an equilibrium. And that's because anytime you see large volatility and large volume and a large range, that is when this equilibrium pattern that you'll see across all time frames and all markets, anything where humans are trading, this equilibrium pattern shows up time and time again. So I'm looking for it to show up. It's just a question of where does our top form? Where do the bulls tire out on this bounce attempt? The weekly time frame, bulls are still in full control. We haven't seen 2 red weeks in a row since back in April, and we are holding exponential support. We are not seeing follow through to the downside after last week, and really, there is no red flags here for the longer-term bulls, even though that was one scary dump in terms of the magnitude. Over those 2 days, we took back about 3 weeks of upside, but on the bounce, we got a good chunk of that back. And really what's going to require for the bears to take control of the daily time frame is a lower high and then a lower low, breaking the low of this pullback of 54.77 at this point. Apple on the daily time frame, much, much weaker. Apple is one of the weakest tech names out of the big boys right now, and that is because of the stagnant action leading up into the dump. Clearly a laggard compared to all the other big names, Amazon, Google. And now we have a lower high and lower low. So this bounce attempt, we couldn't even get over the lower Bollinger Band daily resistance, and we're not even anywhere near the middle Bollinger Band. And looking at the magnitude of the dump we saw here, we've only gotten back about a third of that dump. So absolutely anticipating a lower high on Apple, and we can be scouting a bearish entry on Apple once the bulls appear to have tired. And we use the hourly time frame to gauge that. Losing the hourly 20-period moving average support is a sign of weakness. Here we are testing the weekly middle Bollinger Band support, bearish MACD cross for the first time in a very long time. Bearish TCG cross is almost following through here. And if we were to lose this middle Bollinger Band for the first time in just about 10 months, that would absolutely be significant. As of right now, the bulls are bouncing off of that level, but again, anticipating a lower high and just patiently waiting for the bulls to run out of steam. Facebook is a much stronger chart because we have a higher low and a higher high. So we made that higher low here. Bulls are bouncing. We closed over the middle Bollinger Band just barely, only a couple pennies, not convincing, but not many tech names have done that. So Facebook is among one of the stronger names because of that fact. And still same scenario. I am anticipating a lower high to form, just watching patiently for when that is going to occur and watching for an equilibrium pattern due to the tight range, or I should say due to the long range, wide range, and the volume associated with this dump. Weekly time frame for Facebook, exponential support holding all of 2017, still holding here. Have not seen 2 red weeks in a row since back in April, same story. And bulls trying to defend from a bearish MACD cross following through here. And so far, a very bullish candlestick this week. Obviously, a lot of time to go. But just comparing those two charts, Facebook to Apple, it's night and day in terms of where we are currently standing. Even though there's strong correlations in the shapes of the candlesticks, positioning on the chart is very, very different. So I appreciate you watching. We'll check back in tomorrow, FOMC, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Definitely going to have some impact on things, and we'll check back in and see how it all goes.